of you. Actually, I enjoyed watching your shorts, and Package 3 is one of the most strong shorts we have in the lineup. Thank you. It's very creative, very beautiful, very strong as well. Good luck with the words. I would like to start with Alset, ladies first. So Alset, or the lady, directed by Suzannah Mirghani. First of all, congratulations for the huge award in Clermont-Ferrand.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Suzannah, you're not based in Sudan. You're based in Qatar, right?
Exactly. Yes.
Yes, but Asset is very genuine. How did
Yes.
you manage to find such attractive story? You participated in the script, or how it started?
So El Sit is actually some childhood memories of mine. I lived in Sudan when I was a child, much younger. And after the military government took over in 1989, a few years later, my family left. So we left and we came to Qatar. And I've been here ever since. But my connection with Sudan has always been through my family, through my memories. And when I wrote the script for El Cid, I didn't think it was even possible to go to Sudan to shoot it. But then we had a revolution in 2019. And that's when I thought, when I wrote El Cid, I wrote it as a writing exercise. I never thought I would go and shoot it. But with the revolution and with the way is now open for a lot of people to express themselves creatively, and I went back to shoot the film.
Mm-hmm. The film has a strong anger against Sudan and against Qatar as well, or the Gulf lifestyle. You are even mocking the Gulf lifestyle when the lady was repeating, saying that the guy is coming for their daughter is working in Dubai, but he is working in Qatar. And at the end, she said, "It's all like buildings."
Yes, yes, and kind of mocking myself a little bit as well, because I am that person who is coming from Qatar to Sudan. So I'm mocking myself a little bit as well as this kind of foreign force who's coming to Sudan to shoot a film.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Moving to Reeda.
Hello.
Reeda, your short documentary is one of the most strong and well-made Arab short documentaries I've ever seen.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you.
Sound is the main character, the lead character in your documentary. Are you originally a sound engineer, or you're working with sound?
Okay, so basically, yes, I do work as a sound designer and editor, and I'm very sensible to this medium as well. And honestly, it was great to work with Tony Jaitene, the sound designer on the film. He's a music producer, and he has done films, and he's a sound designer as well. And there's this sort of dynamic that we created together in the film while working with each other, because as you said, the main component of the film are tapes, and the thing is, just listening to the tapes but not putting them in the film is a very firm decision that we took. But I feel like that sort of gives it this haunting feeling. So the entire process of building the soundscapes and designing was particularly an interesting one. So yeah.
Cool. I think the second challenge was the editing.
Yes.
You edited yourself, or how was the editing plan?
Okay, well, the editing plan actually started. Firstly, I started with a rough draft and like a rough cut, and I started, looking at it, trying various things, and then I felt that there are missing scenes. I felt that there was something missing. So actually, while I was editing, I had a short period of time because I had to submit it somewhere. So so shot other scenes, and then I compiled them all together. And Tony Jaitina as well helped with the edit, just sort of, you know, because we were working together on the sound at first, and we were discussing all of that. And after I shot these scenes, we were like, okay, so how can we include it with the design that we already worked on? And we sort of like discussed and watched it again and again until we found this form. Very, to me, it was very humble and sweet to find it with, you know, and it worked with the sound. So, yeah.
And the result was very brilliant. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
Sherif Elbendary, godfather of shorts. Sherif is a very prominent Egyptian director. He has a beautiful feature narratives. He has beautiful TV series, but his passion is always goes again and again to shorts. And I'm always proud to program his shorts. Maybe this is the second or the third short I'm programming for Sherif. Actually, Sunday at 5 is one of the shorts I've been waiting for years. The process of audition carries too much dramas. I believe that one day I had to find it in a movie or a short, and Sherif finally made it. That was the source of the idea that the drama, the audition thing has, or it was different. The idea came from a different perspective.
Actually, the idea came. First of all, thank you for your very nice introduction, Mohammed. I just want the script started to I write a small idea in 2010. Just very early first draft, and it was very early, like many other ideas. You wrote it and you leave it alone, and I never think that I will make it one day. And once I find the way that I want to make it like a real scene, real casting scene, shoot by many cameras in the same time, and me as a director not intervening at all, and make the whole casting process for many girls or many actresses, and then choose one after the editing, and then continue with her the film. So when I find this idea, the way that I make it, so I was provoked to shoot it.
Yeah, it's cool. Aouad, your short is very experimental.
Yes.
Didn't you feel that it's too heavy for the shorts audience?
Actually, I feel that the shorts medium generally is the most flexible medium to accept this kind of. For a director like me, I did my feature, I did my TV series, so I don't want to make exactly the same what I want in the industry. So I want to refresh myself, like detoxing myself as a director in shorts. So this is a way to try to refresh my tools as a director, you know.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Ghaith and Laith, I really enjoyed Hemingway. But why Hemingway? I think it can be applied to any author who is famous for his alienation. Why Hemingway especially?
I will let Ghaith talk about that.
Yeah.
Ghaith, we can't hear you.
Hello?
Now you can hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Hi everyone, and thank you, Mohammed. Yes, the whole idea of the film like came very early when we were also auditioning for another film, Laith and me, and we got to know this character who inspired us a lot. And like physically, he looks a lot like Hemingway. And this was the moment, like before even writing anything, I was talking to Laith and I told him he's like Hemingway, but the Jordanian one maybe.
Like the short, the poster, it reminded me with the cover of The Old Man in the Sea.
Yeah, we really try to take this to another level, like even on the visual theme of the film throughout the film. Like there is a lot of like things here and there, and his book, and even the poster. Like we just wanted to make it also visually appealing. Like, yeah, this was definitely a bit like Hemingway. Yeah.
Yeah. Aouad, your short is about 18 minutes, something?
It's about 18 minutes, 43 seconds, so 19,
yes,
19 minutes.
Yeah, but it took a watching duration like a feature narrative, because I need to watch it 3 times to get all of it. So yeah, I'm doing. I will use the same question I asked Sherif about how experimental ideas is a strong challenge and considered to be a risk for the filmmaker.
Okay. First, I would like to thank you. I would like to thank Malmö Film Festival for your interest for my film, for the invitation for this film. The beginning of each film depends on what we want to do. So first, for me, it wasn't the topic first, but it was some point of view about the Moroccan society first, and especially a certain point of view about bourgeoisie in Morocco. But after that, this bring me to do my researches about another topic, which is values, al-qiyam, and the crisis of values in our society and in the world in general. And by coincidence, I found myself in a special theme, special thematic, special subject, which is integrism, which is the influence of dogma and integrism on the world, and especially on our society. So after that, I did many researches about the subject, and I looked for the best form for this subject. So yeah, we can see it as an experimental way to see it. Yeah, if you want.
Mm-hmm. Your short is very Moroccan, but it can be applied on all Egyptian streets. I couldn't take it off from the serialist scene in the Arab street.
Sorry, can you repeat it? I didn't get it.
I mean, it's the short is really Moroccan, genuine, locally, genuine, regionally, but it can be applied on the same cause in everywhere in the Arab region.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I watched from the perspective of the serialist scene is ongoing in the Arab street.
Yeah. Yeah, it has a relation with that. This story can be happen everywhere in the world, not just in the Arab world, in the MENA, North African Arab world, but it can happen also in France, in Europe, and everywhere else, because the main character can be a guy came in from France, from Europe, and there was many guys like him in Europe and everywhere else.
Mm-hmm. Sherif, I thought when I was watching the short for the first time, I felt that the script wasn't 100% finished on purpose. You just left a space for your characters or your actors to behave naturally. That was it the thing, or it was different?
Yes, this is one of the elements that I want to play with the film. That I want to keep things in for the audience. I mean, for the spectator, that if it's real or false, if it's scripted, or if it's that really happens in fact, or it's a false and all of it it's fake. So the question between what's real and what's fake, that's what I want to keep all the film for the spectator. So once it came to that, I have to give the actors the freedom to put a lot of from their own characters more into the film and also into the story. So that I think what you felt is really right, because that's why I try to make the film that I want to leave them, to leave more space for the actors to interfere with their own characters into the story, like exactly the Harry Tara say in the film for her character, exactly.
A general question, especially for you, Sherif, and for Suzannah, because now welcome to the Clermont-Ferrand Club, and Sherif, you are so much familiar with Clermont-Ferrand. Clermont-Ferrand is one of the most important festivals in the world for shorts, and they have a special interest in Arab cinema. How do you first, Sherif, evaluate its policy? Or its programming policy toward the Arab cinema?
Actually,
you always have comments, I know. You always have comments.
Me, actually, it's a great. I know the programming for the Mofro, it's a very solid programming. It's a very usually every year. I surprised with it. I love the films. That it's a very good selection. You know, sometimes I want to just to go to see the program, so I don't have any comments genuinely.
And Suzannah, how you see your experience with Clermont-Ferrand?
Oh, for us, it was a dream come true. So, this has always been, I've been making films for a very long time, and Clermont-Ferrand was one of these things that you aspire to, and finally it happened. So I have 3 or 4 shorts before this. And so for us, this is now really, really great. And to have won an award is even, it's unimaginable for me.
Ghaith and Laith and Hemingwhy were the professional actors, because their faces are not very familiar for us with watching Jordanian or Palestinian movies.
Actually, the main character, he used to be a drama teacher. The last project he worked on, it was like around 20 years ago. And he just said, like, I just want to leave this kind of industry. I will not work again in it. So he just started working as a drama teacher in schools. But the first time I was in Germany, Ghaith pitched the idea for him. Actually, it represents a really big chunk of his life, let's say, by coincidence, as an actor or as a teacher. So we found him really interesting character that represent all of the characteristics that we were looking for and we were writing in our script.
That's cool. So, hello?
Right, we cannot hear you again.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, guys. Like, technically is like not my
stuff. But, welcome to Arab region.
But like Laith said, having this connection between him and the character really let us go to him, because he's having like almost the same character background, and this what touched us more in his like his story is represents like a small piece of Hemingway, and this is where we were like, this really could be Hemingway.
Mohammed, you basically studied the cinema. I feel that you're mainly have maybe you're visual artist or painter, because really Tower of Silence is amazing visually.
I studied. I
Say
studied.
hi. I would like actually to salute the VOD, the DOP.
Yeah, I insist to thank her first. I thank warmly Huya Mhoudi. She was not just a DOP, but she collaborated on everything about the art department, costumes, even the point of view about makeup and everything. So this is our second short together, and yeah, but about myself, I studied directing, but in this in when I was writing this film, three things was very essential, very important. First, the background of all characters, so also actors. Second thing, sound and all the picture. So yeah.
Cool. Do we have any questions from the attendees? We have Aida, Cindy, Muhammad Masoud, Marina. Any questions from your side? Well, until receiving questions, I may ask all of you about the online festival experience. Reeda.
Actually, filming Began Decaying happened during the pandemic, so it was particularly hard to sort of understand how it works. Should we all do PCR tests before coming to the shoot? Should we minimize the crew? Should we be aware of the lockdown measures? You know, so it was hard to deal with at first, but then we sort of found our way around it. We like the crew was very, we were very close to each other, so we only saw each other and refrained from like going back to our parents' house, not to sort of deal with all of these issues. And so the filming during the pandemic was something very new to me, but it sort of made me comfortable working in such a closed and safe environment. Made me feel close to the people that I was working with. However, the online festival sort of thing, honestly, this is my first festival I'm participating in. So it's a first, whether it was online or actually happening. So yeah, I think it's interesting. I think it will open branches for various communications with other people, like even if it's not live. And I think also it was easier to sort of show for the people that are like all around the world. I mean, that's my opinion on it. So yeah.
Cool. Laith.
Yeah. Actually, I totally agree with Reeda, because once we started the shooting of Hemingwhy, it was almost January last year, 2020, and it wasn't that like a big issue for Corona things. So after like around 1 month or 2 months, all of these kind of lockdowns start taking place everywhere. So that also like we confront a lot of problems with the editing, with the post-production, because me and Ghaith, we live in Germany. So, and the whole project was shot in Jordan. And our editor, he's a friend of ours. He's also living in Amman. So this kind of communication, let's say, about taking care of your film as a post production phase, also it affected us. But I think like the idea behind like watching films, let's say online festival, I found it really interesting. But me personally, I still love like being as a person in presence in, let's say, cinemas, and to communicate with people, to sit in this kind of a chair of a cinema, because at the end of the day, I believe like cinema is meant to, let's say, go into theaters, into big screens. So this is my personal opinion about that. Hello.
Did you freeze? I thought he was thinking very hard about your answer.
Me too.
Yeah. I have a question from Ida. Ida would like to know more about how did you about how Reeda relates to the character within her movie, and what was the inspiration behind the movie.
Hello. To answer Ida's question, so it's a documentary, and it's sort of the journey and my journey with my uncle's tapes or objects that he left behind. And if I want to talk about how I relate to the, let's say, the main character in the film, which is my uncle, I think the film is mostly about us as a civilization and our relation with the past and the future. So basically, what I, based on Mark Fisher's philosophy, there's something that I wanted to discuss to project on this personal relation that I have with my uncle's tapes, which is this ontology that we have towards towards the past and how it's affecting our future. Is that the past sort of haunts us, and that's how and it's recurrent, it's reviving, we're rehashing whatever was in the past, so this is leading to a decaying future. And I think if I were to talk about that, I sort of personalized it with my relation with my uncle's objects to sort of question or maybe propose why our relation with the past and its relation to the future. So I think that can answer the question.
Another question from Cindy Shihab. She would like to know your reason for choosing locations in the film.
Okay, so basically it was a process. I was trying to track back my uncle's journey out of Lebanon, actually my journey out of Lebanon during the 2006 war. And it's because I went from Lebanon to Jordan, so we went by car. So I'm sort of tracking that back and see where would we have passed by what streets would we. So there's this very quiet, humble street in the mountains that we passed by, and I chose to film there. That's concerning the streets where I was recreating certain elements from the tapes that were left from my uncle. However, the other locations, there were objects that were present in my house or stored somewhere. So I was going to these places and sort of searching for them. So I felt that it was essential to put that in the film. So yeah, that's concerning the locations.
Cool. Mohamed Aouad, online festivals, yes or no?
I agree 100% with Laith and with Reeda, and also I agree with what other directors in package 1 and 2 said. So first, I think the experience in theater, in the cinema, is very far, very different from seeing a film, from watching a film in a small screen. And it's related to the human experience in the dark, watching the same film together. And it's related to the big screen, because in the directing, we direct in cinema for a big screen, not for 10 inches. And also for the sound, all the spatialization of the sound with 5.1, it's very different from the stereo. This is the technical and the human experience. But if we don't have the choice, and we need to keep festivals and to keep cinema alive. So I'm very grateful that this way of living festival exists. So yeah, I'm a little bit let's say I agree to live festival in this way, but just if I don't have the other choice. So the third point is, if we are physically in the festival, it will be also a good thing to have the choice, to have also this way to be in the festival via the platforms and via Zoom and internet. For other people who cannot be there physically.
Mm-hmm. Sherif, besides being a talented filmmaker, is also master in High School of Cinema in Cairo. Also, I consider him a cinematic theoretician and a philosopher. So I need to stretch the question with him and ask, Sherif, do you think that we have a post-pandemic Arab cinema? What are your expectations about this?
Actually, Muhammad, I really don't, I'm very, everything is unbalanced at the moment. I cannot expect, but I think it's, you are talking about the stories, the movie itself, or the way of the projection and the screening?
Mainly the production process and the festival industry as well.
Yeah, of course I agree. Of course I agree with everyone before me, or agree with Mohamed Aouad, who is also agree with everyone before him. But because it's the most important thing in my opinion, is the collective interaction between the group of people watching the same thing in the same moment. So if they love, they will. If the love will be much more exaggerating if it's a collective interaction between many people with each other. That's very important for the feeling of receiving the signals of cinema itself. I think, and concerning the Arab cinema, I mean concerning the production, I feel as you see, the industry is not affected at all till now in Egypt. I mean, the shooting is working, the movie is in production. As you see, it's not affected yet. But what I'm really keen to know, what I'm curious to know, is how it's affected the stories and the directors, how it will inspire the directors with the stories. That's I'm really waiting. Not only in the Arab world, I mean in the whole world. It's because it's this is one of the few moments that every director, if he will get inspired from the pandemic, so it's affected all the directors in the whole world with the same way. Usually, directors in the whole world, everyone depends on his own diaspora. He's motivated with his own stories and with his own society and everything. But for the same moment that we all as a filmmaker is affected with the same thing exactly. So how it will, and there's no Arab world and Latin cinema and European these days. So what will get happen? I'm really curious to know. I'm really curious to know. I really want to watch how it will affect the stories of the film in the whole world.
Well, Susanna, this is your first short. It was really brilliant. I loved it much. But all the festival you participated in were online. So did you find that a bad fortune, or you thought that you are starting your career with a new cinematic era?
Yeah, this is my first short shot in Sudan. I have another couple of shorts that I made in Qatar, but this is my first shot in Sudan. And I have to say that we try to be as optimistic as possible, and all of these are joys for us, to screen our film in whichever kind of way and to have an audience and to speak with people, like just even today, right? So we're communicating and we're telling our stories. But I think this year really proved to us the different needs of cinema and the industry, because what happened this year is that the industry is fine. People are meeting, they're meeting probably better than they ever did, with these Zoom calls all over the world. But then the screenings themselves and actually viewing the films, I think that's where the problem is, right? So you don't want to continue watching films on your computer screen. I don't want to continue doing that. But in terms of the meetings and in terms of the industry, just today I'm in 2 or 3 different festivals and I'm talking to people in the US, and I'm talking to people in Malmö, and I'm talking to people in Cairo. So, these are the upsides.
But don't you think that it's a way to promote shorts in a new way? In the past, we weren't find any places or any mediums screening shorts, but festivals. But now. We can see the interest of the new VODs to buy shorts and screen it. I think Sunday at 5 is started to have its way through the regional VODs. So don't you think that online festivals may promote new content to the audience?
Sure.
The question is for me?
Of course.
Yeah. Yes, I think, of course, it's open a lot of opportunities more than, if it's not like, if it's the normal festivals. I mean, the time that you screen your film, it took like around like 1-2 years with the short. But for me, I think it makes the platforms and all the TV channels and so on is hungry to stream more for shorts. I feel it, especially in Egypt.
That's cool. Well, do we have any questions from the attendees? I got a question, but I actually don't know. The question is to whom? It's asking about the songs in the song in the short. Most of you have music in your shorts, but there were a song in the ending.
I think in a set.
Yeah, I have a
yes.
short. If it's there's a song at the end of that, and it's a traditional Sudanese song. It's a Ghani Banat, and it's sung a cappella with no instruments by one of the characters, not actually Nafisa, but her friend.
Mm-hmm.
If that's
So
the question.
it's a song from the Sudanese folklore.
Yes, it's Aghani Banat.
Uh-huh. Can you sing it?
If I could sing it, I would have sung it in the film.
As a way of saving. So it's the short is all supported by DFI, or there is and Sudan Film Factory as well. Is there any other Sudanese independent co-producers?
Well, we had a lot of support for this film. So Doha Film Institute gave us the production grant that really kickstarted the whole process. A lot of my personal funding is in there as well. I really wanted to get this film made. And then when we went to Sudan, we got what I like to call film-friendly prices. So we worked with a very professional team, Highlight Productions and Onset Media. So these are, when we say that Sudan doesn't really have a film industry, it doesn't mean that we don't have professionals. So, you know, these people work in commercials or they work in television sometimes. So we were able to work with really great professional people.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Sherif, you have strong relations with the funds, not only as a filmmaker applying for funds, but also you work as mentor with many funds working in the region. So you have very strong relations with funds and familiar with the international with co-productions. But you didn't go to co-production when you decided to shoot Sunday at 5, not like. The previous shorts. You wanted to make it independent, very independent.
Yes, very independent because first of all, the budget is not very big at all. Second, that I was dealing with Sunday at 5 as it's my fling as a director. So I don't want to someone else to, you know, to suffer, or because of my own flings as a director who wants to make experimental idea. So I can ask my friend Safai from Red Star to be a partner or such a crime like that, but it's not the film that I want to move with co-production and to. It's my own, you know, it's my own experimental projects that I want to make at the moment that I felt it. So I want to make it. The budget is not high, so why not? But my other project, I'm working now on another project, another short film, and we are moving with an international co-production from Sweden and France. Each project, you know, it depends on the way that you want to move with the project. Yeah.
Well, again, was the strongest package in the lineup. I loved it much. Proud to program it. Thank you for being with us. Thanks for applying for Malmö Film Festival and being in our lineup. Proudly have it. And good luck with the awards. Thanks, Reeda, Laith, Sherif. So, thank you so much. Thanks, Aouad.
Thank you.
Bye.